pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to welcome everyone here tonight. I guess the snow and weather kept some people at home, but glad to see you all here. You braved the elements. Oh, let's see, where are we? Approval of the minutes. Has everyone had a chance to read the minutes? Any corrections, additions? And they stand approved. Report of Town Manager, Mr. Warner.
Thank you, Mayor Stanley, members of council. I actually have quite a few things to cover tonight, so I'll try to be expeditious in doing so.
Right ahead.
I'm going to begin by extending my personal thanks and that of the community, I'm sure, to our colleagues in Public Works, Electric, and Police for their dedicated service at all hours, which becomes particularly evident during times such as these when we have winter weather. So, Public Works, I know, are they still working 12-hour shifts, Tom, or are we?
I'm sorry.
Are they still pulling 12-hour shifts? Or
We're done. We stopped that today.
Back to the normal madness. Good.
Yeah, back to normal.
Okay. Also wanted to extend thanks to the organizers and sponsors of all the special events and observances in town, particularly those which took place over the weekend. Too many people to thank with the organizations were out there and streets were full. And also Woody Watts reports that the broadcast of the Christmas parade, which was sponsored by the Central Virginia Business Coalition, has reached 28,000 people and counting.
Wow.
So, yeah, apparently people not only like to be in Centertown, they're also, or downtown, whatever we call it.
Yeah.
They're interested in what happens.
Wow.
Also, speaking of Mr. Watts, this seems like a good opportunity to explain for the benefit of the public the town's partnership with Woody and his company. We have a long-standing contract for services which we appropriately procured with Woody that includes a wide variety of activities. In addition to handling all the details related to broadcast of council meetings such as this one and the actual physical operation of the equipment, Woody also provides innumerable other marketing and communication services, and he does serve as our formally designated public information officer, and he does all this under the terms of a very reasonably priced contract for his services. So in addition to defining that relationship, I know council's aware of it, but some folks have asked about, Woody's relationship to the town. That's it. He does good work for us under the contract we have. And I wanted to take this opportunity to publicly thank him and recognize him for all he does. On an administrative note that may be of interest to some people, the town has entered into an agreement with the Bedford Chamber of Commerce, whereby that organization has now assumed responsibility for managing the placement and display of organization signs on our 3 civic signs. Those are the big World's Best Little Town signs located on East Main Street, Blue Ridge Avenue, and Forest Road. We still maintain them and take care of them, but the actual policy that says who goes where and how, the chamber has agreed to take that on and is now doing that. Also wanted to report on the staff level, we are actively engaged in conversations with our colleagues at the Bedford County Recreation Department about a memorandum of understanding related to the programs they provide at our facilities, Liberty Lake Park in particular. Hoping that's going to promote further cooperation, which is already pretty good with that particular county department, and also some operational efficiencies as they've expressed willingness to participate in some capital improvements. But we're working that through, and I hope to present that to you guys within the next month or so as we work out the details. This past Wednesday, Mayor Stanley, John Wagner, and I attended a free training session offered by the Blue Ridge Power Agency. Actually, Mr. Lockaby was there too.
he showed up.
Presenting several operational and business details related to the PJM electric grid. A lot of nuts and bolts, a lot of strategic information. I know CG's probably going to talk more about that, so.
I'll give it my best shot.
Just mentioning that, we take advantage of those opportunities, particularly the free ones, every chance we can. Also, for the benefit of the public, I wanted to report that at its recent strategic planning retreat, Council formally adopted a statement of priorities as follows. 1, infrastructure and utility maintenance, particularly with an eye towards electric capital needs. 2, downtown revitalization and economic development in general. And 3, public services and staff support. As we move forward, particularly in the beginning of a new year, we will make every effort to note these priorities and how they relate to the activities of the town as led by the council any chance it comes up. So as we move forward, council spent a lot of time digesting things and has identified these things which we are publicly going to be reminding folks of every time we get a chance to do so. Back on an administrative note, town offices will be closed beginning at noon on Wednesday, December 23rd, and all day on December 24th and 25th. We will also be closed on Thursday, January 1st, and this is related to the fact that we follow the Commonwealth of Virginia's published holiday schedule. Last thing to mention, beginning in January, we will move to the change in schedule for our regular meeting dates that was recently approved by council. Our first regular meeting, and the next regular meeting, in fact, will take place on Tuesday, January 5th at 7 p.m., and we will continue to meet on the first and third Tuesdays thereafter. And that's more than I usually talk, so I'm going to shut up for now, but if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Any questions? Good job. We like to be informed, as does the public. Appearances before council, I do not believe we have any. Council comments. Jay, what do you have for us?
I want to thank the people that did come out tonight on this good old slick weather day. The Christmas parade, I want to thank Heather for that. That was a really good turnout for that. The tree lighting ceremony, we had a good turnout for that. Tom, for our sidewalks looking really nice today when I come to work.
Thank you.
It looks really good.
Good.
Appreciate that.
Yep.
And to let everybody know that the new banners are finished. We'll be picking them up next week. And that's about it.
Jason?
First of all, I want to thank all the employees that was involved with all the snow and ice. Public Works Department, Electric Department, and all the other people that was involved, including our fire department, because, you know, there's been a lot going on the last several days or whatever. So thank everybody that put in all that time and effort here and risking their lives and other people's lives. Want to thank Pebble Auto for the Christmas parade and all the events that went on. I want to thank Erica for the farmers market that night, and I want to thank Jonathan Hayton for the Christmas tree lighting. If it weren't for these individuals, our town wouldn't be what it is now. And also I want to say congratulations to the Elks at home, or the Spring Oaks, if I'm correct. Finally getting the Christmas light back up, and they look pretty good for what I seen when I rode through that. So thank everybody for all the hard work that they done for this year for Christmas. So
I'd just like to echo the comments from Jay and Stacy there, as far as our town staff doing everything that they needed to do to prep for all those events and then recover everything from those events while still doing the things that they are paid to do day in and day out. I was late getting my trash up to the road Tuesday, and I got there just in time for the truck to come by, and we talked about the weather for just a couple seconds, and then, you know, he mentioned having to, you know, work the parade and some other things, and there he was right back at work with a smile on his face, and so I thought that was pretty good. Also, while all that was going on, I'd like to thank the police department for all their efforts to keeping the community safe and secure, and while everybody else was focused on other matters. Again, hats off to Heather Alto and Jonathan Hayden for all the work and effort that they did. 28,000 views. I mean, that's good things to happen, and everybody wants to watch it. That's all right. Let's see, I think that's about it. I'm gonna we got a section for committee reports, but I'm gonna just jump in and say something real quick. As far as our strategic plan, is that what we call it, Mary? The strategic plan?
Down strategy.
Well, the strategic
Oh,
plan
yes,
for the
yeah.
whole,
Yeah.
for the whole
Big
thing.
picture.
When we first started talking about that, was the planning commission was hoping to have that ready by December. Well, that got pushed off to January. Well, then that got pushed off to February. But there's certainly a lot of progress being made in it. The first, I think the first 6 chapters have reached their final draft phase, kind of thing. And when it is completed, I think you guys will be happy with what's there. We're expecting some changes and stuff like that. The organization that we got that's working with us on this, I mean, it seems like they're dotting all the i's and crossing the t's. About the only real changes that the planning commission has recommended is just verbiage, not making it sound so much like a government document, more something like that, even councilmen could understand, kind of things. But for the folks that are here, appreciate y'all being here, and Merry Christmas.
All right, I'm just going to echo basically what everybody said. Anyway, I'd like to welcome everybody here. Anyway, it's the president also that's watching us by TV. I get a lot of comments about, what people have actually watched on TV and what we've said, and I really appreciate those comments. Also, a big shout out to the Public Works. We had back-to-back storms, man. Y'all nailed it. Y'all did a fantastic job. And I can say, I hear people talking about, Public Works, this, that, and the other, but I remind them, it's the same guy that cuts the grass, that picks the trash up, that cleans the streets. It's the same guy, so cut them some slack. Anyway, but also, I was very impressed with all the Christmas activities anyway that went on, and you were talking about the elk home. I was actually involved in setting up some of that stuff with Mr. Foreman, with Councilman Foreman, who is actually not here tonight. But anyway, I was actually glad to see that come back again. And anyway, and reminder, school's closed tomorrow, people.
Well, being the next to the last guy, I'm not going to go back through everything that everybody said. Just suffice it to say that, I definitely appreciate the staff in the town, Bart, you especially as well. I mean, you're the quiet kind of manager kind of guy, and you don't get a lot of accolades, but thanks for all you do for us as well. I did want to kind of mention, if anybody's interested, my wife every year does an open house at Christmas time. So you're invited December 21st from 1 to 4. The house is open. Come on in and take a look at 611 Longwood Avenue. So if you ever wanted to be inside one of the old houses on Longwood, there's your chance. And I just want to also just say a Merry Christmas, since we're getting ready to, this is the last meeting before the end of the year. I hope everybody has a merry and blessed Christmas and a great New Year, and we'll look forward to 2026.
Start over. Good deal, thank you. I'm a little bit like Bart. I've got a list of things here to talk about, and I'll try to make it brief. I've got to say this. There was a lady that was always here by the name of Frances Coles, and I got to know her very well, and I hated that she moved and left the committees. But she would always sit in a certain place around where Mary is. And so now, and you are taking Frances Cole's place. So you are here, you're a regular. So if you're not here, I'm gonna know something's wrong. Thank you for coming. Back to what we've said, I'm repeating the same thing. Tom, thank you for what Public Works does. Here last month when I met with those guys, I could sense right off, it is a dedicated bunch. They know what jobs they have to do. They know how to do it, and I felt at some point I was holding them up. I said, just quit talking so we can do our work. But I appreciated the visit there and what all y'all did during the storm, and the roads are looking very good. The Bedford Electric, same thing. I don't think we had any outages or major
We
outages?
did,
Okay.
but the fact that you didn't know about it makes me happy.
Yeah, my lights did not blink, but yeah, usually you have scattered outages in places. But again, Bedford Electric gets them back on very quickly, very quickly. Police, Jim, appreciate what all you all do. Y'all are always out there, taking care of business, watching for safety issues, hazards, and all that. So thank everybody who was involved. And actually, I think it was Monday, I drove through town, I have to get out and ride around, of course. I went by the building here, and Bart's light was on, so I just stopped and came in and talked to Bart for about an hour or so, just chew the fat and see what was going on. So it was a good visit. Made up for lost time. Things that I have been doing, I'm just going to go down the list here. November 22nd, attended the ceremony and dedication of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial up here at the courthouse. And it lists the 14 Bedford sons who paid the ultimate price and did not come home. That is long overdue. As many of you all know, the Vietnam veterans did not get the proper recognition, and now they have it. It's coming around now to where they were being recognized, and rightfully so. November the 26th, it was with sadness and a heavy heart. I attended the funeral of Lucille Bogus. She was a leader of this community. I'd known her a good part of my life. I was in school with two of her children, got to know Lucille very well. My mom, as I've said, worked at the courthouse. She leaves behind a legacy I do not think will ever be matched. And if you ever got to know Lucille, she was a straight shooter. She always said, yes, we are Bedford. Even though we have a county and a town, we are Bedford. In that we should all get along, work together, and should not be any conflicts than anything of that nature. She always said, we are Bedford, period. And she was also the type of person that when there was something to be done, she didn't ask, can we get it done? Her thing was, how are we going to get it done? That was her mentality. She had a very positive attitude, and she will be missed. December 1st, attended the Central Bedford Memorial Hospital Christmas lighting. I'm going to warn you guys. I did take an opportunity to talk to Santa, and he did tell me I had improved a little from last year. So I put the good word in for you all. So he'll probably be talking to you all individually at some point. Now, forgive me for this, but I did warn Santa. I said, there might be one guy, Santa, that may want to change your name. Excuse me. December the 3rd, as Bart said, attended the PJM 101 training at the Salem Civic Center with Bart and John, and Mike showed up. But if that is the basic, I do not want to see the advanced part of that. They had 8 objectives, and towards the end of the day, I was still on the first and second one. I mean, it's very complicated, but it gave me an insight as to all the moving parts that go into figuring out our electricity rates, and it made me realize, which I already knew, we don't just say we want to raise our rates for a reason. There are a lot of moving parts, and I won't go into a lot of detail, but the PJM stands for Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland Interconnection. Formed in 1920. It has since expanded into 13 states. And what does it do? Mainly operates the grid. It's an independent system operator and regional transmission organization. It manages wholesale markets. PJM runs competitive electricity markets where power is bought and sold. And it tries its best to balance supply and demand. At this point in time, the supply is outweighing the demand. It also tries to ensure reliability. Its core function is to keep the high voltage transmission system stable and prevent blackouts. It operates includes all or parts of Delaware, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, New Jersey, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, and Washington, D.C. Now, to branch off a little bit of that, Bedford Electric is part of the Blue Ridge Power Agency, along with Salem and several other electric suppliers. And we are a part of what's called AMP. And they're the ones that buy our power, negotiate our power. And just to give you a brief overview, AMP is American Municipal Power Agency. They are a wholesale power supplier and services provider that serves more than 130 members, including, of course, Bedford Electric and 7 different states. They're a wholesale power supply. AMP manages and supplies competitively priced, reliable wholesale power to its members. It achieves this by purchasing power and selling it to members at rates designed to minimize costs. They do their best. And I will give a lot of credit to John Wagner. I have a higher respect for John now. I already respected John, but he does a great job on the AMP side. He's on the AMP board. He knows what he's doing there. And I caught myself sitting next to John, instead of asking the trainer questions, I was asking John, okay, what does this mean, and so forth and so on. And John explained it in kindergarten ways I could understand. But basically, that is it in a nutshell. There's a lot more to come. And Barn, I hope we could put something on the website, maybe explaining in not a lot of detail, but explaining this to the customers where they will understand it. But I think would be beneficial. But again, if that was the basics, I do not want to see the advanced. But it was educational. This past Saturday, I participated in the Christmas parade. I feel like it was a good parade and well attended. And it sounds like a lot of people viewed it online also. Special thanks again to Heather Alto and Central Virginia Business Coalition to a job well done. Also went around and saw the different vendors at the farmers market. Went back that night for the Christmas tree lighting at Central Park. John Hayden, again, he is a guy that is heavily involved in the community and wants to be involved. And if you all have never heard him do a weather forecast, you've got to look him up. He is a very good weatherman. He will keep you in stitches, but he's right to the point. Stay home. Don't come out. And that is all I have for right now. I think that's enough. What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Council comments, report of council committees. I don't think we have any revisions to the agenda. Nothing to add. We're good. All right. Public hearings, Mr. Warner.
Notice is hereby given of a public hearing to be held by the Town Council at 7:00 p.m. on Tuesday, December 9th, 2025, for the purpose of hearing a town-initiated zoning map amendment to change the zoning district from manufacturing M1 to medium-density residential R2 on the following parcels located on Coral Street and F Street. 195-5-1T, owned by TSCL Investments, LLC. 195-5-1-2T, owned by K. Carnes. 195-5-1-3T, owned by Twin Oaks Asset Management. And 195-5-5T, 195-5-1-6T, 195-1-7T combined, owned by Alvin and Agnes Carter and Lorena Reed. Information has been on file for review in the Town Office of Planning and Community Development. Anyone who is in favor of or opposed to the request shall now have an opportunity to express his or her views.
All right. I will open up the public hearing. Anyone who would like to come up and speak, now is your time. Come up and give your name, address, if you would like to say anything at all. Come on up.
Good evening, I'm Lorena Reed. I'm from Manita. My parents is the one that owns the 611 F Street. I'm the co-owner under them. Their house burnt down back in July, and we're trying to rebuild a new home for them. And with it being under manufacturer one, it's kind of difficult because it's the old floor plan, and we'd like to upgrade it and make it more useful and maybe a benefit later in the future, because we'll be doing handicap accessible for my parents, and it will probably become rented out after they pass. So I think that'll be a big benefit to that area, since it's becoming more of a apartment complex and rentals.
Correct.
So that's all I got to say.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Anyone else? All right, the public hearing is closed. All right, no consent agenda, no old business. New business. Ordinance changing the zoning map by rezoning properties at tax map numbers. Mr. Warner.
After receiving an application for a zoning map amendment from one landowner and a verbal request for the same map amendment from another owner on a small street block, staff researched the possibility of a town-initiated map amendment for the northern portion of the block. The block along Quarrel Street and F Street is located between Railroad Avenue on the south and Jackson Street on the north. At the time of the initiation, the block was made up of 7 parcels with 5 owners. 3 of the parcels have since been combined into one. One owner did not respond to requests for considering the change and is therefore not included in the process. All uses on the lots are residential. However, one of the houses burned in July 2025 and cannot be rebuilt under the current zoning regulations, which triggered the referenced application. All parcels are currently zoned manufacturing M1. The southernmost parcel is zoned CNW and not considered for this change. On November 6th, the Planning Commission held a public hearing to recommend whether the properties located on F and Quarrel Streets should be rezoned from M1 to R2. The initial rezoning applicant and the other interested owner spoke in favor of the zoning map change. No one spoke in opposition. The commissioners commented on the need to help the owner with replacing the demolished home and the chance to add housing. The motion to recommend approval of the zoning change passed unanimously with a vote of 5-0 of all members present. Tonight, Town Council is requested to consider the ordinance before you to rezone the properties that were mentioned in the public hearing from M1 to R2.
All right, you all have heard the reading. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Councilman Haley made the motion, second? Second. Okay, Councilman Foster. Any discussion, questions?
I do have one question. So explain to Mary a little bit, single-family modular, is that more of a, is it more of like a pre-manufactured house, or is it a house that's being built by standards?
Or a contract?
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, it is a modular home. It will not be stick-built. It will be bringing in and meets the ordinance standards for being a home that, as if it were stick-built.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
It's not manufactured.
There, I was reading, I just saw that, I was just asking a question.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? I think this is a good thing in that I was here at the Planning Commission. Of course, Daryl's on the Planning Commission, and that I'm in favor of it.
Planning Commission did approve it on a vote of 5-0, so
Yeah.
they were happy with the presentations that were made and how it would fit into the area, so.
All right, Sean?
Mr. Evans?
Aye.
Mr. Foster?
Aye.
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito?
Aye.
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mayor Stanley?
Aye.
Motion carries with all members voting aye.
All right, budget amendment, the RSA safety grant.
Town of Bedford has received notice of award from Virginia Risk Sharing Association, or VRSA, for a safety grant to implement virtual private network, or VPN, enhancements and to purchase new computers required to complete the Windows 11 migration. Both of these items will improve the security of the town's information technology infrastructure. The grant must be accepted and spent before June 30th, 2026. Tonight, Town Council is requested to approve the budget amendment, which would appropriate $4,000 in revenue to the line item identified as VRSA Safety Grant, and expenditure line items of $2,464 in computer replacements and $1,536 for the VPN server.
All right, do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Councilman Foster made the motion and Vice Mayor Updike seconded it. What questions do you have? Yeah, it is. No comments? Nothing. Okay. Sean?
Mr. Foster?
Aye.
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito?
Aye.
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mr. Evans?
Aye.
Mayor Stanley?
Aye.
Motion carries with all members voting aye.
Budget amendment, comprehensive plan, budget rollover.
Town of Bedford adopted budget funding for future planning over fiscal years 2024 and 2025 to have the comprehensive plan update prepared. At the end of fiscal year 2025, there was $35,065.38 of funding remaining that had not been spent. Staff is recommending a budget rollover, which would appropriate funding from the prior year reserves towards the expenditure account for future planning. Tonight, Town Council is requested to approve the budget amendment, which would appropriate $35,066 to the revenue line item identified as prior year fund balance, and an equal amount to the expenditure line item identified as future planning.
All right. Hear a motion?
So moved.
Councilman Haley and Councilman Ippolito. All right, what questions do you have on this one? Well, that's pretty much, this is payment for the plan, or,
To wrap it up, basically.
yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, yeah.
Bill, we got to pay.
Got that? What you okay with? You good? You okay, Stacy? All right, Sean?
Mr. Foster?
Aye.
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito?
Aye.
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mr. Evans?
Aye.
Mayor Stanley?
Aye.
Motion carries with all members voting aye.
All right, request for information, Mr. Warner.
As part of its overall budget strategy, the town is adjusting its commercial solid waste collection activities. The first step was discontinuance of commercial solid waste collection, which took effect October 1st, 2025. As a result of that policy implementation, the town is in a position to reassign its operating liability for the transfer station on Orange Street and explore the possibility of associated revenue enhancements. Accordingly, staff and the town attorney have drafted a request for information, or RFI, to solicit bids from any entities who may be willing to obtain a franchise for the operation and maintenance of the transfer station. The purpose of the RFI is to obtain information from firms or persons in the solid waste management industry who may wish to enter into a long-term franchise in excess of 5 years with the town of Bedford to lease and operate its town transfer station. This RFI will not directly result in a contract. However, the information gathered will inform the town's preparation and advertisement of a formal franchise solicitation. As required by the Code of Virginia, after reviewing the responses to this RFI, the town will likely issue a public notice advertising the franchise and may then proceed with a long-term lease and operations agreement. Tonight, Town Council is requested to authorize a release and publication of the request for information, related to a franchise for municipal solid waste transfer station operation and maintenance.
All right, do I hear a motion?
So moved.
All right, Councilman Foster and
Second.
Councilman Evans made the second. What questions do you have, uncertainties or comments? And this is just the start, right? Okay,
Yes.
yes. Okay. You good? You good, Jason? Well, okay. John?
Mr. Evans?
Aye.
Mr. Foster?
Aye.
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito?
Aye.
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mayor Stanley?
Aye.
Motion carries with all members voting aye.
All right, now we have a closed session. I read that, don't I?
Yes.
Yes, that's what before I read this, those who are here, and if I don't see some of you all before Christmas, I wish you all a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. This will be, of course, our last meeting, council meeting of the year, and have a good, safe holiday. Closed session pursuant to section 2.2-3711, 829, Code of Virginia of 1950, as amended for discussion of the award of a public contract and the terms or scope of the contract, where discussion in an open session would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the public body pertaining to intent to award contract for services related to municipal building renovations. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Councilman Haley?
authority exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which the certification resolution applies. And 2, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered by the council.
Your motion?
So moved.
Councilman Haley, second.
Second.
Vice Mayor Updike, roll call.
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mr. Evans?
Aye.
Mr. Foster?
Aye.
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito?
Aye.
Mayor Stanley?
Aye.
Motion carries with all members voting aye.
All right, intent to award contract, Mr. Warner.
In response to several emerging issues with the municipal building located at 215 East Main Street, the town of Bedford recently issued a request for proposals for design, bid assistance, and construction administration services related to potential renovations of the property, including replacement of HVAC and electric systems, as well as other identified deficiencies. Thompson and Litton emerged as the highest-ranked bidder under the terms of the RFP, and staff is currently in negotiation with that firm regarding the specific price quote for their services. A copy of their bid has been provided for council's review tonight. Under the terms of the RFP, the initial bid from Thompson and Litton is valid for a period of 90 days, beginning on September 26, 2025. Failure to act on the bid by December 26, 2025 means that all bids would be disqualified and the town would need to reinitiate the appropriate procurement process. In order to meet this deadline, staff was proposing that a formal intent to award statement be adopted by council with the understanding that price negotiations are ongoing. The most recent price quote is dated November 13, 2025, with the same 90-day terms as the initial bid. It is the intent of staff to present a formal contract agreement for action by council not later than February 13th, 2026. Otherwise, the same terms as the bid will apply, all bids would be disqualified, and the town would need to reinitiate the procurement process. Tonight, Town Council is requested to formally approve its intent to award a contract to Thompson and Litton for services related to municipal building renovations.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Councilman Haley and Councilman Ippolito made the second.
May I ask a few questions?
Sure.
May I ask a few questions?
Sure.
Good evening, Nanda Long, 1512 Clearview Road. In the documentation that was provided before the meeting, I didn't actually see the RFP itself, the request for proposal.
Oh.
All that was shared was not what I would consider a response to a request for proposal, but a statement of qualifications from Thompson and Litton. And it didn't specify what exactly is being done. I know it says HVAC, electric, and other items, but so there's not a clear scope of work that was identifiable. And I'm just concerned about voting on an intent to award a contract when you don't know what the scope of work is or what the final price is going to be.
We're
And
not
then-
awarding the contract yet.
That's
No, I
correct.
understand
Yeah.
the intent to award.
Yeah.
Well, and yeah, we have to move forward or we have to rebid the whole thing. Now, as far as getting the copy of the RFP,
Saw the dates, yeah.
we can certainly publish that, and that
It
shouldn't.
is available. It's on EVA, the state's website, under Town of Bedford, and you can find a copy of the RFP located there. And then if you go to the town page on bids, it actually links to the state site where you can search and narrow by Town of Bedford.
We'll make sure that's easier to find.
And then my other question was, who were the other contractors that provided?
You want me to say?
Our-
I'm looking at our attorney to see if we're allowed to
Oh.
disclose that at this time.
Because we have disclosed, we could, if we wanted to, say the ranking of the top 3 or whatever. The only thing is that we can only negotiate with one at a time, and then we need to terminate negotiations and move to the next one. That's the only thing that's unusual in this situation, but we can disclose at this point who it was who submitted the proposal.
Okay. Are you, want me to say?
Should we say? I'll defer to you.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
I don't know who they were, though. I just drafted the RFP.
I think and again, before we issue a contract, we certainly will have.
Well, Some of the contractors are Armory Engineering, Armory Engineering. I think it was Larry, yeah, Thompson and Litton Engineering who we're looking at. I think it was Larry Pearson, LPA. LPA, I think it's Lawrence Pearson Engineering.
Those are our top 3.
That's top 3. And yeah, I think that was it.
We've had 2 others. Those were the ones that were ranked.
Yeah, those were the 3 that we ranked, that we were considering. Sorry, I don't remember the other 2.
Yeah, I can look
Were
at
they
that.
ranked specifically on qualifications or on their technical specifications that were provided? Were there additional technical specifications? Because all was provided for tonight.
Yeah, we had a committee that was of staff, and yes, we ranked them qualifications, experience, locality of work, availability of time, time frame. We had a whole list of things that we scored them on.
Okay, but no technical specifications.
No, not specific, no.
We're not at that
Well,
point
other
yet,
than-
actually.
Yeah.
That's what, we're hiring them to help develop the technical
Yeah.
specifications.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. That clarified a lot.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I'm sorry, that wasn't obvious then. Thank you for asking the question.
And Mr. Mayor, just for everybody's knowledge, you can't actually rank them at this stage based upon price. You're not allowed to take that into account.
Well, that explains a lot.
Anything else? All right. Yes, are we ready to vote? John?
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito?
Aye.
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mr. Evans?
Aye.
Mr. Foster?
All right.
Mayor Stanley?
Aye.
Motion carries with all members voting aye.
Okay. I do not think there is anything else to come before the council tonight, and again, I wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. We are adjourned. Until next year.